Bet you have regrets. I won't be listening to those regrets, though. So, we'll go up here instead. Yeah, this entire area up here I completely missed. And there's a dragon there. Can't really do much with him. So there's a Screamer. So if we kill him fast enough, these guys won't wake up. These guys don't wake up. We're good. Because these are the ones you really want. Avoid waking up. Because if you fight like 5 of these guys at once, it's going to be a bad time for everyone involved. And I don't like bad times. So up these stairs here. Yeah, you thought you were smart. So, unlike Dark Souls 2, there is actually no option to turn off blood in this game. But it doesn't seem to be causing any lag, it just seems to be a built-in effect. We did all that for binoculars, the most pointless item in the Souls games. And that's no invisible wall, so... there we go. So we got this dragon here. Dragon doesn't seem to do anything. I actually haven't tested in my other game if you can use the gesture to get anything out of these dragons. I seriously doubt you'd be able to, but it might be worth testing out later. Keep that in mind. So yeah, you drop down here and you get this little secret item here, gold pine resin. Which, if you play the Souls game before, that's usually fairly useful for early boss fights. And more fire bombs. Now, if you've also played a Souls game before, you know there's pretty much no point to rolling into stuff because there's almost never anything in barrels. But people still do it in force of habit anyway, just to see the destruction. We'll just drop down. Who cares? I'll take the fall damage, because it gives me something to heal. So now we're at the real trouble of this area. And it's this little section coming up. So the kicks in this game, you use it for that, and then you do that. Useful. And that wake up the dragon. So here's where the difficulty of the game comes in. Yeah, we're not gonna mess with that. There's a ton of items up there. It's mostly weapons. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna run here, trigger the dragon, hopefully. Okay. Yeah, if you walk through there, you just take constant damage. And I'm gonna want to get into there. So I'm gonna get the dragon. Trigger down there. Shit, I fucked it up. Take a heal. So the thing is, I'm really misjudging where that ends. This is bad. Do it. Do it. Do it. Here's the trick here. You just roll forward. For damage. That's what you have to do. If you want all those items back there, you have to do basically the same thing. Except you cannot heal while you're being hurt. So it's a lot more risky. But it's totally worth it to get in here. What's in here? First chest of the game. No invisible wall. Always have to check this shit because you never know. Because like I said, I was matching A against walls in my early game. So you'll notice here, these chests are Dark Souls 1 chests. And what do we know about Dark Souls 1 chests? If you see a chain, look for the coil. If it's not coiled, it's a fucking mimic. You piece of garbage. Mimic this early in the game. And he tried to grab me. That would have been a death. Yeah, if you get grabbed, it's an insta-kill. So the thing with mimics is you take it one swing at a time. If you stagger him, take 2. And he's done. What is that, guys? The deep axe. Very deep through most of my... So why is this weapon carrying me through most of my first playthrough? My current axe is doing 125 plus 16. How much does the deep axe do? Well, it goes down to 103, but then again 103. So 125 plus 16, 141. Compared to 206. And that's why the deep axe carried me through most of my first playthrough. The dark damage, I mean, some stuff's resistant to it. And resistant to it, then it's better to just use the regular axe. This door only opens from this side, by the way, that's why I had to go around this way. You know, that triggers that knight to come out. I think there's a man sleeping here too. So there's one of those boulder knights from Dark Souls 1. Can I please walk on? Thank you. So these guys are tough. I didn't even need to touch that. And yes, you can backstab them fairly easily, and also stunlock them. He's almost dead already. You see, that's why I like the deep axe. That was 2 hits and a backstab. It's a lot more than that if you don't have that axe. So Dragon Breath hits where that torch is. And I don't really see any items over there, and if there are any items, they're probably fading souls or equivalent, so who cares? Maybe a few shields and stuff, but not really worth the trouble. So this guy likes to come out and just jump because he thinks he's really good at his job. And as you can tell, beforehand I was doing like 90 damage with my axe. Right now I'm doing 100. This is clearly the better weapon choice right now. Even if these guys have some dark resistance, it's still enough to overcome just the sheer fact that there's 100 dark damage on it. Which is why it's such a good early game weapon. And our first bonfire. So here's where we check for invisible walls, because I'm sure that there are some at this point in the game. I just haven't found them because like I said before, I was mashing a early game. And, you know, not attacking. Which is what you should have been doing. So do I take a seat now? Sure, we'll take the seat. So I've got at least 2 level ups on me. I'm gonna hold off right now. That might be a stupid decision because there's only 3 bonfires in this area and one of them is a boss bonfire. Oops. Yeah. Bet you that guy thought he was smart. So the ability of lives in this game, I believe, is a sidestep, which is similar to the side dash again in Bloodborne. It's not really something that's overly necessary for the game. So I believe there's this guy here. He likes to climb fences. He also likes to be dead. Trust me, I know these things. Yeah, that's the problem with those swords, is they swing fast. But they also get staggered. Real easy. So here's an area where there's another one of those assholes. I'm gonna need to be really quick here, or I'm gonna get screwed. That guy transforms, it's bad. And this entire area becomes a lot more difficult to deal with. Granted, he pretty much kills all these guys for me. But I do not need Tarman. Like, there's one thing I don't need, it's Tarman. Because Tarman is very dangerous, and he is really hard to fight. Because when you're fighting with Tarman, you basically have to get behind them and hope for the best. So Crystal Lizards, the strategy to them is leaping strong attack with an axe, and then a single regular attack, and that pretty much kills 90% of the Crystal Lizards in the game. I mean, they do actually scale up in health as you go through areas, so I think they might be actually a little bit more buffed in the Dark Souls 1 versions. Okay, so here's where this gets tough. It's this area over here. So we deal with him. And we backstab him. And there's 4 guys done in like no time. For a firebomb. I'm just going to do a safety pause in case my game crashes at some point. Why do I call it a safety pause? Well, because every time you pause the game, it automatically autosaves. It also autosaves every time you pick up an item. So if the game does crash, that's where it will respawn you, is wherever you paused and unpaused last, or wherever you picked up an item last. So if you're having problems with the game crashing, keep that in mind. If you ever need to, just pause the game, and you'll respawn from there. So these guys have a shield bash. It's a really annoying move in this game. To the point where you basically have to circle around the shield side. Okay, these guys are fairly forgiving early on because they will not parry you. Or, not that they won't parry you, there's actually a chance that some of the early game enemies can parry you. But if you ever lose all your stamina, they will almost never follow up with a visceral attack. I believe that's what they called it in Bloodborne, was visceral. So yeah, you don't have to worry about visceral attacks from these guys early on. You will have to worry about it from NPCs, but NPCs, as usual, are a different story. So these lantern guys like to raise the dead. Saw you back there. And then Hunter Charms, which I believe are used to block Estus recovery. Or not Estus recovery, it prevents weapon skills. What? Mr. Backstab's here. And by Mr. Backstabs, I mean he likes saying backstab because he's really fucking dumb. Holy crap, was that guy stupid. Secret? No. Would be a good place for one. Oh well. So yeah, like all these boxes on the shelf are breakable, but there is nothing there. They give you a lot of things to break in this game, and I'm really not sure why. So there's a secret through here. It's not really a useful secret, it's just a thing. And there's this man, who thinks he is so smart. He is really dumb. And here's where we get a really fast sword, the broadsword. It's really good. Surprisingly good, even. I will probably never use it, despite the fact that it's really good. Do I want to go the secret way, or do I want to go down? I think I'll go through the secret way first, and then I'll go the intended way later. So there's all kinds of enemies in this room, and a lot of them are the stronger versions of the enemies, so I have to be careful. Because this is a spot where you really need to manage like what you're doing, where you could end up very, very dead. This is a tough early game room. That's all there is to it. I'm going to go the regular way because I'd rather not take the fall damage. Which is basically what you have to do if you go the other way, because then you drop down there and there's basically nothing there and you can't make that jump, so why bother? That chest is normal. This man isn't. Strong attack. Did the fall kill him? Thank you. Because that was almost really bad. So, Silver Eagle Kite. I'm not sure if that has 100% block. If it does, I might be wearing it. It does, but it weighs 5, and you know what? I can take that. First 100% block shield I found. Which, to be honest, I probably won't be using 100% block shield for most of this game. There's a reason for it. And that reason is, well, there's another Dark Souls 1 favorite shield of mine in this game. There's Axeman. I want to fight him and dogs. So let's just try doing one at a time. Hello, Axeman. That's a big axe you have. And he's done. 5 hits, which is a lot better than 6. And that's why I like the deep axe. Helps me out a lot in this game, actually. I actually be able to get to the shortcut without spending too much Estus. I should also mention, this is like the room where fire bombs are helpful. And why are fire bombs helpful? Well, I'd tell you, but this is not a good time to do it. So you see these barrels with the strings on them? They explode, dealing massive damage. Missed. Crap. Oh well, I'll fight you normally. I won't use the gimmick of this room, which is raining fire bombs down from up top and basically murdering everyone. So there's a dog down here. But there's no exploding barrels down here, so... Yes, the dogs in this game really get recoiled by the axe. And you probably know I picked up an Estus shard there. That's the main reason I went on this detour. Because Estus shards are, as always, really very much appreciated. So there's a few other things in this room of note. The first one being there's something behind here. Titanite shard, so I can finally upgrade my weapon to +1. Which isn't overly necessary, but I can do it. And there's this area. Rapier, Firebomb. Here's Mr. Wing Knight. But I don't really want to fight, so I'm gonna just circumvent him entirely. Like a true hero. Shield up, just in case. And done. So this area down here is particularly laggy, so I'm going to take the safety bonfire as soon as I get the one optional item over here. Where's Mr. Wing Knight? I'm going to wait for him to do a pass, because if I fuck up this jump, it's bad. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a precautionary heal. So let's just not fuck up this jump. Did it. Bring a sacrifice. It's not particularly useful for a lot of stuff in this game. So instead of going back that way, I'm going to go this way. Just to make sure I didn't miss anything over here. Which I didn't, so that's good. This ladder just goes back up to where I fought that ambush earlier. Now you might be asking yourself, what ambush? There's an answer to that. It's the one with the 4 guys and the 2 crossbow guys. So we'll continue around here. I basically looted everything in this area at this point. And I could fight that guy. He's not actually that incredibly difficult. But he is definitely an enemy that appears in the late game. And the only thing of note he drops is like a Wing Knight halberd, and it's not really something I want or plan to use because it requires like 26 strength or something. So then there's this fight. Kill all them. Nothing? Alright. And item. Green Blossoms, which I really never used all game. And there's a reason for that. Trust me, there is a reason. How do I always do that? But here we go. I wonder if there's a secret down there. I'll check it when I come back later. By later, I mean it won't be that long. Nothing? There's probably nothing down there either. So you might be wondering where exactly this is. Five hits. Perfect. 2 hits. And if you remember correctly, this is Dog Bridge. And there's also that archer up there I killed earlier, but he's down for now, so got to deal with him too. And there's your first shortcut of the game. Loot back the bonfire. Take the standard bolt. Can I get back up from here? Yes, I can. And we'll just look over here and rest. So we've basically done most of the first area at this point. The only thing left to do is the bomb part, but before I do that, I really want to level up. So we'll go to Fire Link. And we're almost through like the first real area of Dark Souls 1, or 3. Fuck. Like the Lothric area, I will say, is definitely a completely different area from anything in Dark Souls 1. Like, it's not really similar to anything. Like, the closest you can call it to is Undead Burg, but there's not enough similarities to really make that statement.
Welcome home, I speak that.
You say anything new?
Ashen One, to be unkindled is to
I don't remember if you said this before.
Souls. Sovereignless souls will become.
Yeah, level up.
Show thee how, Ashen One.
Yeah, it brings souls. Larger, more powerful souls seek the king. Bestest lands while you hold, whatever. Why do I remember that one so damn well? And I have one more. Where am I going? Go one more point of equip load. Stamina at this point, I can get 5 swings, I'm not too worried.
Ashen One, may the flip.
I will definitely want to get my endurance up to 20, or wherever it is that lets me roll. Actually, while I'm here, I should probably reinforce my Estus Flask. That's important. Very important, actually. So important that we're going to do that right now.
Just wasn't.
Okay. Reinforce my flask. Oh shit, that's right, I did get a key down there too. So I should probably check that out. I'm not going to reinforce anything right now.
Pretty be careful, I don't.
Actually, I should.
Just good, wasn't he?
I really should. F4, that's enough for one. They really upped the amount of shards you need to do anything in this game. So I get an extra, like, 18 damage from one reinforcement, so I'm going for it. Doesn't seem like much, but it adds up.
Pretty, I don't.
I will definitely pump a little bit into this good axe. It's not a good axe, fuck. I think you have RuneScape terminology now.